talk about Sophie Cunningham making some comments about WNBA fans, what she believes fans may not have right about WNBA players, and how a lot of fans feel about, I would assume, hard plays, aggressive plays. I'm not quite...
WNBA believed it had time. It believed its brightest phenomenon was beyond reach. But a new set of staggering figures, brought forward by a true icon of the sport, has shattered that assumption. These numbers don't just hint at Caitlin Clark's potential departure, they outline a financial reality that makes her exit feel less like speculation and more like an approaching certainty. A clearer truth is now taking shape, one the league can't ignore. This isn't a question of loyalty or tradition anymore. It's a matter of unprecedented revenue, global visibility, and the kind of economic influence that can rewrite the future of women's basketball from the ground up. And in that landscape, Clark's trajectory appears to extend far beyond the boundaries of the WNBA. Even more telling are Sophie Cunningham's recent and highly debated remarks. Her comments have only intensified the storm already swirling around the league, highlighting how tense and unsteady things have become behind the scenes. They add new pressure to a situation where major players may begin scanning the horizon for more lucrative, more stable opportunities elsewhere. The league now faces a crossroads, one where silence is no longer an option, and the consequences of every decision may ripple for years to come.
Last year had volunteered to join the Fever as Caitlin Clark's enforcer. And that's Angel McCoughtry. She played in the league forever. She's 39 years old now. And really good player. I mean, a 6-time All-Star, 2-time scoring champ. Averaged 18.6 points a game in her career. And she makes some comments about Project B that's very interesting. And I think she's saying the quiet part out loud, that some players may forego the...
Shockwave at the center of this unfolding story comes from a mysterious new force known only as Project B, an organization quietly preparing to upend the entire structure of women's professional basketball. This isn't a routine startup league or a modest competitor trying to squeeze into the market. What we're looking at is a financial disruptor, an operation poised to unleash resources that eclipse anything the WNBA has placed on the table in its 28-year history. Gone are the days of gradual salary bumps and careful collective bargaining. Project B is stepping into the arena with a full-scale financial blitz, positioning itself to reel in top-tier athletes with offers that push past traditional limits. It's a bold strategy built on the power of overwhelming compensation, the kind that can instantly alter a player's career path, stability, and long-term earning potential. Its arrival signals a potential turning point, a moment where the brightest stars in the sport may begin eyeing the open door instead of the established league. Analysts are already describing the possibility of a broad migration, a wave of athletes drawn toward unprecedented financial freedom. And at the top of Project B's target list are the most recognizable, most influential players in the women's game, the individuals capable of shifting an entire league's balance with a single decision. What happens next could reshape not just contracts, but the future competitive landscape of the sport itself.
WNBA, not unrivaled, the W, in order to play in this new league. She also squashes the myth about, players have talked about, I want to be able to stay in the States. I don't want to go overseas, blah, blah, blah. She says that's kind of BS. That sounds like a negotiating tactic is what it is. So, Sophie Cunningham, let's check this out.
I'm not just speaking for myself. I think I'm speaking on behalf of probably the whole league, that when people see us competing and trying to fight to do anything it takes to win, because this is a
former WNBA All-Star and certified legend Angel McCoughtry didn't sugarcoat anything. She didn't allude, suggest, or tease, she delivered the facts with unmistakable precision. Her assessment strikes directly at the heart of the WNBA's public message, laying bare the financial crossroads players are now forced to navigate when deciding where their careers, and their futures, truly belong. McCoughtry, who publicly offered last season to step in as Caitlin Clark's on-court protector, isn't theorizing from the sidelines. She's lived through the league's economic ceiling, felt its constraints, and watched younger athletes bump into the exact same limits she faced. Her comments carry the weight of personal history, accumulated seasons, and first-hand knowledge of what the WNBA can, and cannot, provide. In her breakdown, she tears away the polished exterior, revealing the vast gap between today's salaries and the astonishing financial opportunities now emerging outside the league. McCautry essentially maps out a landscape where players must weigh tradition against life-altering stability. And when those numbers are set side by side, the divide is impossible to ignore. Her perspective doesn't merely contribute to the conversation, it reframes the entire debate, forcing fans, analysts, and the league itself to confront an uncomfortable truth about the future of women's basketball.
Oh, Sophie Cunningham, let's check this out.
I'm not just speaking for myself. I think I'm speaking on behalf of probably the whole league, that when people see us competing and trying to fight to do anything it takes to win, because this is a hard league, that they automatically think that's what you're like off the court. People need to get to know us players more. And I think if they do, they fall in love with us. And so not judging the competitive side of us compared to our off court.
Just wondering, do fans do that? Because I don't. I never one time have I seen somebody's play and been like, oh, they must be real nasty off the court.
The financial gap on display here is nothing less than extraordinary. Start with the WNBA's maximum contract, roughly $90,000 for the league's elite, a number that, in the broader universe of professional sports, barely rises above entry-level compensation. It's a figure long criticized, but now it looks even more alarming when placed beside the emerging numbers tied to Project B. Because Project B's baseline salary, its absolute minimum, is projected to sit at an eye-opening $2 million. Not for MVPs. Not for perennial all-stars. For the lowest-tier players on the roster. That's not a raise, that's a financial shockwave. It represents a leap so dramatic that even the least featured player could walk away earning more than 20 times what a WNBA star currently takes home. This staggering contrast strips away any illusion about competition. It highlights, with almost mathematical brutality, the WNBA's current inability to match what new markets may offer. For athletes whose careers are short, physically demanding, and often unpredictable, the choice becomes more than a professional decision, it becomes a matter of long-term security and basic financial fairness. In that light, loyalty becomes a luxury few can afford. And the pressure on the league to respond is no longer theoretical, it's immediate, public, and impossible to ignore.
What else does the player got going on off the court? Do they take basketball seriously, or do they want to be a celebrity influencer? Well, you know what I'm talking about, right? So, I thought that was interesting and that you guys would want to see that. Let's go over here. This is the Good Follow podcast. Hell, go subscribe. It looks like it's relatively new. The lady on the left is Angel McCautry. Like I said, we're talking about a real force in the league. 5-time All-Star, 2 times.
But the financial incentives don't end with salary figures. Project B goes a step further, introducing a component that's virtually unheard of in long-standing American sports leagues, equity. Under this model, players aren't merely collecting paychecks, they're becoming partial owners. They gain a stake in the league itself, a share of an enterprise that could surge in value if Project B gains traction and expands. This strategy flips the traditional power dynamic on its head. Instead of viewing athletes as temporary employees with limited influence, Project B treats them as partners whose success is tied directly to the league's overall performance. It's a modern, investment-driven structure that gives players an opportunity to build genuine long-term wealth, not just seasonal income. For athletes dreaming of financial security that extends beyond their playing days, and even beyond their children's futures, this model is nearly impossible to ignore. It competes not with the WNBA's current framework, but with decades of how professional sports have historically operated. The result is a proposition that feels revolutionary, a pathway to generational wealth, ownership, and meaningful influence, benefits the existing league simply cannot match under its current economic system.
Of how players are going to look at this money, and you can tell from her reaction, it's like, whoa, that's a whole different level of cash we're talking about.
The max was $90,000.
I mean, even just say, like, you haven't been playing the league for what, 1-2 years or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's just even talk now. You're a current.
Okay, I'm a current player.
These players are making max $250.
Now I'm making $250, then $90. And let's see. $5 million, $2 million. I mean, guys, you do the math. Who's going to turn that down? And then I'll have a chance to have equity.
McCautry didn't dance around the issue. She voiced the question that has been circulating quietly in locker rooms, group chats, and agents' offices across the country. If someone is offering you $5 million, why keep risking your body in the WNBA? It wasn't meant as shock commentary, it was a direct challenge to the league's core value proposition. Her point cuts to the heart of the matter. Players endure a demanding travel schedule, intense physical strain, and the constant risk of injury, all for a salary that pales in comparison to the new opportunities emerging elsewhere. When another league is prepared to offer life-changing compensation, the calculus shifts dramatically. This isn't merely a critique, it's a reframing of how athletes must think about the arc of their careers. McCautry's candid remarks push every WNBA player, particularly those with the kind of star power that shapes entire franchises, to reconsider what truly serves their long-term stability. Her comments don't diminish the WNBA's significance, but they do underscore the reality that passion alone can't outweigh financial security. And as these questions grow louder, the league faces mounting pressure to redefine how it supports and compensates its top talent.
And let's see. 5 million, 2 million. I mean, guys, you do the math. Who's going to turn that down? And then I have a chance to have equity in this league, and this league could possibly grow. I mean, Project B, aka Project B, let's get it.
Yeah.
You know,
feels like common sense almost.
It feels like it is common sense. I mean, honestly, I see a lot of girls. If you're going to get paid $5 million, why put your body through playing in the WNBA? Is that that's what I see coming?
Well, here's the another aspect of this too. I thought the whole trend and point of some of these new leagues popping up was that the trend was going players wanted to stay home in the U.S. And so that's an advantage that...
To make matters even more uncomfortable for the league, McCautry also dismantles a long-standing belief that WNBA players inherently prefer staying in the United States. For years, the public narrative has painted domestic play as the ultimate priority, one that supposedly makes stateside leagues like unrivaled the most appealing options for athletes looking to remain close to home. But McCautry doesn't buy it, and she doesn't pretend otherwise. She calls that narrative exactly what she believes it is, a carefully crafted bargaining line. A storyline used to maintain leverage, soften criticism, and present players as rooted in familiarity rather than ambition. In reality, she argues, the idea that most athletes wouldn't leave the US is more fiction than fact. According to her, players aren't just open to traveling, they already do it, and they will continue to go wherever the opportunities are greatest. When the chance for genuine, life-altering money appears, geography becomes secondary. Convenience becomes negotiable. And the notion of staying close to home quickly gives way to the practical demands of financial security. Her blunt honesty redefines the conversation. Loyalty to a domestic league doesn't outweigh the promise of transformative earnings. And as new competitors emerge offering unprecedented compensation, the willingness of players to relocate becomes not a hypothetical, but an undeniable truth shaping the future of the sport.
Going to see a lot of surprising names, I have a feeling, sign up for this league because they think the W's going to 850 or 1 million. Okay, well, what do you think they would pay Asia Wilson? 8 million, 10 million a year, so 8 to 10 times more than they're paying now. Caitlin Clark, 15 million, 20 million, 25 million. I mean, I don't know. People seem to get offended when I bring that. Why?
McCautry speaks from deep personal experience, vividly recalling her time playing overseas in cities like Istanbul, Turkey. For her, it wasn't a compromise, it was a lifestyle upgrade. She describes a world of rich culture, gourmet meals, and nights that stretch into legendary parties until the early hours, followed by leisurely breakfast on off days. Playing abroad, she explains, doesn't feel like a sacrifice, it's an opportunity to combine elite basketball with adventure, luxury,